Hello and welcome to the channel. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has said the agency had recovered 30 billion naira from the Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. EFCC recovers 30 billion naira from Accountant General Idris. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC's) probe of the Accountant General of the Federation (AGF), Ahmed Idris, over alleged 109 billion naira money laundering is yielding results, the agency's chairman, Abdulrasheed Bawar, said yesterday. Bawar spoke at the weekly ministerial briefing organized by the Presidential Communication Team at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. He said the investigation has led to the recovery of over 30 billion naira. Bawar was responding to allegations that the anti-graft agency could be a tool in the hands of some influential individuals. Bawar's revelation came barely 4 weeks after a High Court of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) sitting in Maitama heard that Idris had voluntarily returned about $900,000 in cash. An EFCC official, Ayatuddin Ahmed, who was testifying as a witness in the trial of Idris and 3 others, said the returned cash was part of the 109 billion naira allegedly diverted under the watch of the suspended AGF. The court also heard how 84.7 billion naira was taken from the $2.2 billion due to the 9 oil-producing states and shared by some senior government officials. Bawar defended the EFCC, saying the anti-graft has the freedom to investigate the suspended AGF without being teleguided. He said, "The EFCC is independent. Nobody tells us what to do or investigate, how to investigate, or what to cover and what not to cover. No. One of the last major investigations we did was that we arrested the Accountant General of the Federation. Out of those fraudulent activities discovered, the EFCC has recovered over 30 billion naira and we are already prosecuting them." Presenting his agency's scorecard, Bawar told reporters that the EFCC has recovered about 136 billion naira and remitted it to the coffers of the federal government in the past 7 months. Giving details of the recoveries, which covered various proceeds of corrupt practices and were denominated in both local and foreign currencies, Bawar said the funds are to be committed to funding major ongoing infrastructure projects. He listed such projects as the Abuja-Kano Highway, the second Niger Bridge, and the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, among others. According to the EFCC boss, the breakdown of funds included 120 billion naira, $29 million, 6.6 million euros, and about 1.1 million pounds, all of which aggregated to 136 billion, 651 million, 505,114 naira in the local currency. Bawar said, "I want to state here that the POCA, which is the Proceeds of Crime Act 2022, mandates that all relevant agencies must open what is called the Confiscated Assets and Properties account in naira and foreign currencies, and that all finally forfeited funds that belong to the federal government should now go into that account. Before now, we had to pay the money into a designated account, but with POCA, this is where we now keep the different government assets recovered, and we have carried out an audit. From our EFCC recovery account, we paid 120 billion naira and $29 million, about 6.6 million euros, and about 1.1 million pounds into that. The president has sanctioned that all those monies should be utilized to provide critical infrastructure in the country. So, the funds will be used for the completion of the Abuja-Kano Expressway, the second Niger Bridge, and the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, among other funds that the federal government is getting." He further revealed that last month, the EFCC recovered another 201 billion naira from oil firms defaulting on royalties to the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC) and the 3% statutory payment to the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Bawa gave the breakdown to include $354 million, 30 billion naira, and $30 million. The EFCC boss said, "Here are some of the things we have done in indirect recoveries in November 2022. We recovered $354 million for the NUPRC in terms of royalties that one of the oil companies has not paid. Our investigations led to that recovery. For the recoveries that we are making for NDDC, for instance, between now and probably next week, we will transfer to them about 30 billion naira and about $30 million. These are recoveries we have made from oil companies that have refused to pay the 3% statutory payment to NDDC. He, however, did not provide the names of the erring oil companies. It is only from one company that the $354 million was recovered. I have forgotten the period, but it is an investigation done by our Lagos command, and we have evidence of payments that the said companies made. Because of the sensitivity of some of these things, we will leave it at that." Meanwhile, thousands of people besieged the Lekan Salami Stadium Ibadan for auctioning of 80 forfeited cars conducted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). The news agency of Nigeria reports that the forfeited cars of different brands were bid for at the exercise. Conducting the exercise, Mr. Aliyu Kiliya, the president, Nigeria Association of Auctioneers, expressed satisfaction with the conduct of the EFCC officials and the bidders. Kiliya said that about 80 forfeited cars were auctioned through licensed auctioneers, adding, the next step was payment by the winners within 24 hours. Now we have conducted the auction and we are looking for the time when the bidders will pay. We are preparing the records for them to come and pay as usual. We allow them to source the money and pay in the next 24 hours according to the provided method of the commission. If they can't meet up with the payment, we have made provision for a second and third bidders in line with the Bureau of Procurement Policy, he said. The president of the association said that failure of the first, second, and third bidders would require that members of the commission report back for the next line of decision. Commenting, Mr. Victor Adedoyin, a civil servant and bidder, expressed satisfaction with the process, describing it as fair and transparent. That's the news, guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.